This is a special edition of WeatherScope with the latest winter storm update.
Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Joel Brown here in the Weather Channel Forecast Center talking about yet another winter storm. It's been quite a year, and now we're getting very close to record snowfall totals in many cities in the east as that snow is picking up. We've got reports of heavy snow anywhere from about D.C. up through Philadelphia. JFK now reporting 3 inches of new snow on the ground, still snowing heavily, and it's snowing heavily up to Worcester, Mass. Not quite to Boston yet, but it's certainly picking up. Let's take a look at our storm system, show you what's going on. Once you get an area of low pressure like we have here right along the coast, usually it picks up all that moisture, starts drawing it in. There's your big source of moisture. And a lot of times an area like this will intensify, and we will have that happening as this area of low pressure here starts moving slowly to the northeast. So as it does, we're looking for a lot more heavy snow, but already we've had reports of snow really coming down throughout this entire area, up to about 7 inches of snow reported in some locations. And that would include Virginia. Let's take you to Roanoke, Virginia, where they may at this point be saying enough is enough. But the plows were out again this morning, and the storm dumped up to 4 inches of snow in Roanoke. The snow there should be tapering off through this afternoon. And along Interstate 81, hopefully conditions will be improving by this evening. But a cold night is coming up with gusty winds, and a lot of times that means roads that go to wet, like what you see here, may go over to ice, and the same will be true all the way down into Georgia. So the snow, of course, not quite as heavy down here in Georgia, but Paulding County did pick up about 2 to 3 inches, and that was enough to close the schools early, send the kids home. Probably not quite enough for snowball fights this afternoon, and the temperatures have been warm enough in Georgia that we have mainly wet roadways, but we could see some icy spots through this evening, so that's something we'll be concerned about. Now we want to take you to our own Bill Keneally. It's on the road again with the Weather Channel, this time in Boston. And Bill, I understand the snow's picking up there.
Yes, Joe, we have the snow of the horizontal variety today. The winds are out of the northeast, and they're getting quite gusty. We are on the bridge from Charlestown into the city of Boston. Looking behind me, we used to have a nice outline, a nice silhouette of downtown Boston. That is gone now. The buildings you see are very close by, probably, about a quarter mile away. Visibility here is probably down to about a half a mile or so, and I'm sure that's going to really snarl things up at Logan Airport. Now, out at the airport, so far so good, they say, but the main problem is all the other airports down the northeastern corridor causing a lot of headaches now. We've had major delays in Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Newark, and LaGuardia now. Because of their heavy snow, it's starting to put a dent in the flow here at Logan Airport, and the visibility, as mentioned, getting very low too. I'm sure that is going to be restricting things. So it looks like the airport itself probably has seen the best of their flying weather today.
Alrighty, well, already problems at the airport, Bill. The roadways behind you seem to be just wet, and traffic's moving along fine. I imagine things will be a little bit slow going by the time we hit the evening rush hour, though.
Right, Joel, as long as we have cars traveling on this busy roadway, we're okay. They actually laid down salt about 45 minutes ago. That was a wonderful idea. This is an overpass. Obviously, it's going to freeze up a little faster than the primary arteries are. However, looking down below us, there are actually some roadways already snow-covered. These are the secondary roadways, and these, again, they're going to have a difficult time keeping up with as the snow is starting to blow sideways, and as long as it gets heavier, you're sure you can bet it's going to start drifting as well.
Alrighty, Bill, hope you have your snow boots on. Looks like plenty more to come. Alright, we'll be checking back with you again shortly. We want to show you now a Doppler radar of the Boston area, and we can actually see how that snow is increasing. And this is going to show you actually accumulations of precipitation in the southern New England area. And you can see how quickly it's moving on up to the north of Boston. We can't tell you exactly how much is on the ground with this, but we can see that it is now starting to take over and move up into New Hampshire. And eventually that heavy snow is going to move all the way up into Maine. And yes, it's going to be quite a mess. We're talking about heavy snow warnings, winter storm warnings throughout much of the region, and up to 10 inches of snow perhaps before this one's finished. I want to point out something on this satellite picture here. As it goes into motion, you'll be able to see this band right about through here. You see how it's looks like a big puff of clouds. Looks like we could perhaps be seeing that as it heads to the north, come right over the Cape, and we could see some heavier snow, perhaps within the next hour or so. So we may see a quick burst of heavier stuff coming in. However, actually out on the Cape, it may end up changing over to rain by late afternoon. That's not likely to happen in interior regions. Okay, the heavy snow, well, we're picking it out very easily where you see the dark green on our map, and we've had those reports as far north as about Worcester, Mass, just not too far off to the west of Boston. So the heaviest snow is probably not quite yet there in Boston, but next time we check with Bill, chances are it will be. All right, we have that heavier snow all the way down here to about the Raleigh and Durham area. The snow advisories were canceled around the Greenville-Spartanburg area. In Atlanta, we had that heavier snow for a while. Can you see how it seems to be disappearing from the radar? Well, actually, had the sun come back out around Atlanta. So conditions probably not too bad, but we're going to watch with these kind of light accumulations, even that far to the south, for icy spots on the roadways, especially bridges and overpasses. The heaviest accumulations now over the 6-inch mark in central Virginia. We've had reports of 7 inches in Lynchburg, 7 inches at National Airport, and this is what's in the forecast for this evening through tomorrow morning. Now,
then here it goes. This one's heading out to sea after a nice solid 6 to 12 inches for the big cities. In fact, over in my hometown of Baltimore, now with 8 inches of snow. I must admit, I have to eat a little bit of crow with this one. I was thinking 2 to 3 inches yesterday. I think most others were too, but still, when you're wrong, you just got to say it. You're wrong, just missed this one. Well, across portions of the Ohio Valley, here comes our next shot of snow Saturday afternoon. By Sunday morning, that's coming back to New York and Boston with another little punch of snow in it. Our forecast down the line looks like this. We're going to see some colder air settling in, but it won't last a long time. We think that cold...
And now, your local forecast. Accurate, up-to-date weather information for your neighborhood. Only on the Weather Channel.
Jill Brown.